After Raw went off the air, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes celebrated, and while Sami Zayn was on Cody's shoulders, Kevin Owens teased a betrayal, putting his thumb down, signaling to turn on Cody Rhodes, the same way Triple H did with Randy Orton. Kevin Owens showed that he was joking, but with his track record, this could have planted some seeds. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn turn on each other so often, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. For now, though, the two are still best friends, and they will continue with their title reign. In other news, John Cena recently explained why he doesn't show up to WWE, and he didn't blame his busy Hollywood schedule. Instead, he spoke about his body and how he physically can't go anymore on a full-time schedule. This is what he said on the Busted Open Radio podcast.
But I wish I was still there every day. I just can't, my body can't do it anymore. And I don't want to give the consumer a bad product. That's another thing that I learned from those veterans at the time. Guys like Eddie just would risk so much. And he's like, I'm never going to give the consumer a bad product. I don't care how I feel. I don't care how I feel physically. I don't care what baggage I have mentally. When I'm on, they paid good money. And I'm going to go out there and give everything I have and sometimes find it when it's not there. And I'm at a point where everything I have, in comparison to the bar that's been set, boys, like what I have is what you saw at WrestleMania 39. Like that's what I feel confident that I can deliver. And that's really nice for here and there. That's not every day in the WWE. That's not every day in sports entertainment. Sports entertainment has raised the bar. And I'm humble enough to say that's awesome. Because you're supposed to leave it better than you found it.
John Cena's days of being a full-time wrestler are done. I think we all knew that, but this is the reason behind it, according to John Cena himself, and it makes sense. Because of his Hollywood schedule, he does not have the time to put in those reps like these other guys. Even though Sheamus, Bobby Lashley, and AJ Styles are similar in age, those men put in the work every single day, and John Cena can't, and so his body can't perform like it used to. I appreciate the candidness. It's also cool to see that he still respects the business so much despite the success he found outside of it. His love for WWE will always be there, and the same applies to The Rock. They never forget who gave them that chance and put them in a position to succeed. Even though I miss John Cena, I'm going to enjoy every second he is on WWE TV, even if it's for one match a year. It's better than 0 matches, and I'll take it. But anyways, now you know why he's not around anymore. An interesting piece of news that I wanted to cover is Triple H was apparently not backstage on the last episode of SmackDown. According to PW Insider, Triple H wasn't there, and instead, Bruce Pritchard ran the show. I will say that it was a successful episode. I would assume that Triple H already had this episode of SmackDown booked in advance. PW Insider continues and says that they don't know why he wasn't there, but it is something interesting to look out for. I hope it's nothing more than anything like a missed flight or some sort of unserious cold, because honestly, if Vince McMahon fires him or something like that, that would be insane, but I don't think it is. I'll make sure to keep you guys updated if we get any more news on this. We have another WWE superstar who's going Hollywood, and it's surprisingly Seth Rollins. I say surprisingly because I would have never guessed that he would make it there. He seems like the kind of WWE wrestler who only wants to be a wrestler. And it's also very difficult to make a transition from wrestling into Hollywood. John Cena, Batista, and The Rock are the only ones to successfully pull it off, while Sasha Banks is getting her foot in that door. Well, Seth Rollins is making an appearance in Captain America, New World Order, and there's even clips going around the internet showing him acting. The film is set to release in May 2024, so it's going to be a while before we do see that movie. But this is a big deal. Seth Rollins being in a Marvel movie could do wonders for his career. If he does a good job, I could see him acting in some more action movies in the future. He seems like he would be a perfect fit for those roles. Congrats to Seth Rollins for landing this big gig. I don't think it will interfere with his WWE schedule because he is set to win the World Heavyweight Championship, or at least that's my prediction. And I really can't have this man win that belt only to disappear like Roman Reigns. That would be ironically funny. We have an update on Bray Wyatt and his status with WWE. According to PW Insider, currently Bray Wyatt's name is not listed internally on the WWE roster in any way. Fightful Select added more to this and reported Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy are still in WWE and aren't going anywhere. Bray Wyatt is missing from the roster because he's still dealing with that injury/illness. So while the bad news is that Bray Wyatt isn't returning anytime soon, he's still with the company, and WWE is not releasing him or Uncle Howdy, and the storyline is still very much in place to continue. but Bray Wyatt's still dealing with that illness. That is worrying because, he's been out of action for some time now, and there's still no update on when he will come back. The WWE has also been very quiet about Bray Wyatt and why he's out of action, so I'm just wishing him a speedy recovery. I want to see him get healthy, make a full recovery, and return to the ring when he can. Bray Wyatt isn't the only ones to get injured. Liv Morgan recently suffered an injury during her match on SmackDown against Damage Control. Dave Meltzer provided an update on her status based off of the segment on Raw last night, saying, "That's legit, she was hurt in the Friday match. If you're going to miss 6 months, then yes, but if it's just one match, they don't strip you of the title for a minor injury. I don't know what the injury is, and they didn't say, but the way everything was played out, it's not like if she was going to be out of action for a long time with the injury. She'd say that she was out, and then they would take the steps of stripping them of the belts. It felt like it was something where, she's going to be back very soon, and they went ahead and did an angle with Ronda and Baszler with Raquel to build up a title match, so I think it's a short-term thing for Liv. That's certainly the impression based on their booking." That sounds very likely. A long-term injury would have kept her out of action for a much longer time. We should expect Liv Morgan back on TV soon in order to have that match with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, and you can expect those two women to take those belts off of Raquel and Liv. They were initially going to win at WrestleMania until Ronda Rousey suffered an injury that forced her to have very limited in-ring action at the biggest pay-per-view of the year. According to Worked Wrestling, WWE had planted the seeds for the soon-to-be new Judgment Day member. According to them, as teased on WWE RAW, there had been discussions backstage of JD McDonough joining the Judgment Day. The connection and the angle is that Finn Balor is the one who trained JD how to wrestle. I think he would be perfect for the group. I could even see the two becoming tag team champions down the line. It'll help the group, it'll help JD. It's a win-win for everyone. I like this idea. And now let's talk about Monday Night Raw from last night. The show saw a segment between Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and the Judgment Day, and that was electric. Dom got an extremely loud boo from the audience. He might really be the best heel in the business today. After KO and Sami finished their story with the Bloodline, this is looking like the next feud, and I think it will be a lot of fun. Shinsuke Nakamura and The Miz then put on a really good match. Since WrestleMania, The Miz has been putting on some bangers, and you love to see it. He's a great performer, and it's nice to see him prove that on a weekly basis. Shinsuke Nakamura won the match as they continue to build him up again. Gunther came out to talk about his dominant title reign and then said the winner of the Battle Royale would challenge him for the championship at Night of Champions. Mustafa Ali won that match and he's next in line. That match is going to be another banger on Gunther's resume. This man is really putting on classics left and right. This could end up being the best IC title reign of all time when it's all said and done. We then saw an interview segment with Seth Rollins and Corey Graves talking about his championship pedigree. That wasn't anything too special, it was what it was. Becky Lynch then cut a great promo. I thought it was one of her best in a long time. It felt very real and authentic, and I thought it was good. She challenged Trish Stratus to Night of Champions, and that was shocking. I thought this feud was going to take place and culminate at SummerSlam, but I guess I was wrong. I could see WWE booking Ripley and Becky at the show in the summer. Dom then defeated Xavier Woods in a singles match with the help of his mommy. Rhea Ripley helped him win, and that only makes the WWE Universe hate him even more. Cody Rhodes cut an excellent promo on Brock Lesnar. He really doesn't miss when it comes to his promo game. Cody is great, and I'm more excited for their next match than their last. And finally, Judgment Day defeated Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens after Imperium cost them the match. I like the idea of this three-way feud, and I'm excited to see it go down. Raw was very solid. It wasn't anything amazingly special, but I give it a solid 7 out of 10. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.